Hey guys, so if you're a space nerd like I am, or just a science nerd in general, this stuff is the stuff that really gets you hard. You're just like, oh god. So this came out a few days ago, and I was gonna talk about it, but I'm like, let me wait a little bit. I figured some more pictures or something would be released, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But what a time to be alive. Um, So NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, sharpest images of the deepest parts of the universe ever seen. Now, obviously, not the entire universe, but just more of the seeable universe. As we've said before, if there's, if the universe is infinite in size, we can only see a small portion of that infinite space with what we have right now with our technology, and these are basically pictures that have been taken that show more clearly what's truly out there. um so this picture, just, I saw this and it fucking blew my fucking mind. I mean, look how amazing that looks. You've got galaxies and stars, and the shining, like right there. People at first, people were like, no, it's like a interpretation. No, this is actually what you're seeing, except for the little spikes, of course. It's kind of like when you look at a bright light or something, you see the little spikes. That's kind of what you're seeing. You remember, what are stars and stuff like that. Giant balls of flaming gas, and obviously that produces light, like reflections. But so that's the first picture, and just and you can see all the little right there, all they have, the little spikes. Actually, let me see if I can. Yeah, you can see all these little ones even have little spikes. But that and this one, fucking hell. This image is from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, shows cosmic cliffs and a sea of stars. The photo reveals baby stars in the Carina Nebula, where ultraviolet radiation and stellar winds shape colossal walls of dust and gas. Again, these are not interpretations. These are not fake creations. This is what is there. And that's why this is so fucking amazing. This isn't, like I said, it's a great time to be a fucking nerd when you're into this stuff, because this is stuff, we could only dream of seeing. Especially how far this stuff how far it is. We're never gonna get to see it in person. So this is our only way of seeing it right now. But there was another one. I think it's called the Pillars of Creation. Let me bring that one up. Yeah, they're called the Pillars of Creation. As you can see, it's a nebula, but it's like a very pillar like. So they call them the Pillars of Creation. Very amazing looking, very very cool. Um, but this, just look at the colors. You have golds, you have purples, you have reds, you have blues, you have this mixture of like brown, orange, with hint of gold, because it's just fucking, oh my god, I love it. Um, Captured in exquisite detail, the James Webb Space Telescope peered through the thick dust of the Stevens Quintet, a galaxy cluster showing huge shockwaves and tidal tails. This is a front row seat to galactic evolution, NASA says. Is it Stephen or Stefan? Whatever. Quintet is a visual grouping of 5 galaxies, where 4 galaxies form the first compact galaxy group that was ever discovered. Form the first, yeah. So you have, normally when you think of galaxies, they're so far apart, but you have a group of galaxies are pretty now it looks like they're close to each other on, because it's a fucking picture that was taken. But when you actually get in there, they're really not that close, but close enough to where when you look at them, they look. It's kind of like the Big Dipper or Little Dipper. When you look at the sky, they're so close together. But if you were to actually go out there, they're really not. Um, but still, that's, and just different. Like this one looks so different than this one. This one looks different than this one, because there's so many different variations of galaxies. But same thing, not as prominent in this one. You have like this one. Several different colors there, but you a lot of golds, a lot of bright whites, and it's the Southern Ring Planetary Nebula. The NASA James Webb Telescope shows a dying star cloaked by dust and layers of light. Just the fucking colors. It is. You got blues, you got purples, you got gold, you've got red. Just so many fucking colors in one picture. And this is all from space. It's like space may not have any sound or anything, but it's certainly got a lot of fucking colors going on. And then atmosphere composition. Hot gas giant exoplanet WASP 96b. The NASA James Webb Telescope captured the signature of water on giant gas planet called WASP 96b, which orbits a star 1,100 light years away. For the first time, we have detected the evidence of clouds in this exoplanet's atmosphere. So, like the hot gas. So signature of water. So it's not like, because it's a gas, it's not like, you know, water like puddles, more like clouds. You know, the water, the moisture and everything that's built up inside the clouds. That's pretty much, I think, what they're saying, because if the planet itself is like a, you know, a giant gas planet, that means the planet is mostly made of gas, which means there shouldn't be any physical puddles. It's the atmosphere, it's clouds holding water, but that's just the fact that there's possibly water over there on a gas planet. I mean, Mars has said to have water at some point. They've seen microorganisms and stuff like that, showing that there has been water there at some point. If not water, ice. Well, technically, obviously, ice is water. Water is ice. But just look how fucking gorgeous this is. Like, this one and the first one blow my fucking mind. This looks like it's something out of like an H.P. Lovecraft kind of thing, or, you know, science fiction movie, but no, this is real. This is what the telescopes and, you know, people are picking up. That's fucking insane. And then we have this. Images from NASA's James Webb Space Telescope remind us yet again how improbable it is that we're alone in the universe. Again, if anyone truly thinks as vast as this universe is, again, people are saying the universe is literally infinite, which means it goes on forever. Now, that space may not be taken up yet because we're still, you know, expanding outwards, but the amount of galaxies there are, the amount of planets there are, it is very, 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 very improbable that we are truly the only planet with life on it. People think, oh, well, if there are people out there, wouldn't we meet them by now? This isn't fucking Star Trek. This isn't Star Wars, where we have, you know, intergalactic ships that can just hyper speed. We're not even close. It's going to take, I mean, we may not even never have that kind of technology. I mean, imagine Star Wars or Star Trek if you know, they're exploring, especially Star Trek, if they're exploring the galaxy, but it takes them 40,000 fucking years to get from one planet, from like Earth to like the nearest star. That wouldn't make much of a show, would it? So naturally, they're going to have, you know, hyperspeed to, you know, get there fairly quickly. But in real life, we don't have that. We're most likely never going to have that. The fucking damage to our bodies alone would probably be enough. I mean, our body can only handle so much force. And if you're going, that's, I would imagine your skin would just right off your fucking body. You know, it's kind of like when you come to a sudden stop. It's not like if you fall, you know, from a high building, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. Well, imagine you go from standing still to in just a split second. Your skin was just In fact, you'd probably be, just you'd be splattered across, just splattered everywhere. So the force and all that, I don't think hyper drive and hyper movement like that would be possible. Um, but out of the countless amounts of planets, the fact that people still think that we're alone in the universe, that it's improbable. Mathematically, scientifically, it's just improbable. And people say, well, why haven't they come to the would you want to come to Earth? If put yourself in an outsider's position. You're on another planet, right? And you might be capable of intergalactic travel. And you're thinking of places to go. And you see, oh, Earth. And then you look at Earth. Would you want to come to Earth? Would you want to come to Earth? I live on this planet. I don't even want to be here. But to think that we're alone and that we're the only life forms in this universe, that's just stupid. Let's see what the comments say. Looking for life as we know it. Leveraging Webb's power to study other worlds. In the movie Contact, the person that Jodie Foster played said, if no one is out there, what a waste of space. Fact is, truly intelligent life from another world is probably intelligent enough to not have anything to do with us. Yeah. I mean, one would think that if there is life out there, which there is, Karen fucking T, but the only reason they would come to this planet is for resources. I don't think they could give a flying fuck about us. They would come to this planet for resources, for water, for gold, because gold can be used for many things. Copper can be used for things. And some of these elements, while yes, they are found in space, might be harder to find. So they would come to our planet for resources, but that's, really unlikely if there are other planets similar to ours that have the same type of, since gold, it's not just like gold pops out of nowhere. It's not like these elements, this is all, the planet was formed from space rocks and everything, and so it can be found in space. So other planets have gold or silver or, stuff like that. But finding it would be a little more difficult, I think. So, but if anything, they would come here for resources, because especially water. I mean, we're pretty abundant in water on this planet. More than 70% of this planet is good old H2O. But for sure life is out there. They are far too intelligent to come here, though. Wondering whether intelligent life exists on Earth. Yeah, pretty much. Life is abundant, but too far away for us to get to there, or them to get here. They're not yeah, exactly. This isn't fucking Star Trek or any kind of sci-fi where we have hyperspace, where we can instantaneously just go from one place to another. Telescope is in danger of getting hit by a Tesla. I hope it's keeping an eye out. These pics are just a tiny sliver of the visible universe, and each speck of light is a whole galaxy. Yeah. Yeah, keep that in mind. What we're seeing, that's just a tiny, like your room is basically, think of it that way. You have your town, you have your city, you have your state, you have your country, you have your planet. Your room is just a small fraction of what is actually there. So for you, this is your galaxy, but outside is more. And the further you go, the less you're going to see. Aliens, just keep going. We here on Earth suck. It's true. There is one spot in the picture that is of particular interest to me. It looks so similar to our galaxy. What a time to be alive. The entire observable universe is probably one grain of salt. Yeah, what we're able to see is, as I said, if the universe is literally infinite, what we're able to see is just a fucking speck of what is truly. But as I said, considering our universe as we know it right now is still expanding, there's probably a lot of dark space that hasn't been expanded into. Because as they say, our universe is expanding. So it's all a bunch of hooey. Life exists where life can. I mean, yeah, they found little microorganisms on Mars. They found it on other. So yeah, microorganisms are life. Um, just primitive life. To serve man. Pillars of creation. So fucking cool. But yeah, I think it's amazing, and I can't wait to see what else this telescope and the more pictures uh, can show. Because I mean, just look at it. This is amazing, and it just kind of shows you how small we really are in the vast scope of space. Like I said, imagine our universe as your room. This is what you know, and there's so much more out there that we don't know. You know, you have your room in your house, and you know your house is in your, you know, your town, city, village, whatever you want to fucking call it, and that's in the state, and the state's in the country's on the planet, planets in the, you know, galaxy. So it just ever expands out. Um, what else will we find? Who knows? But as I've said before, there is going to be a time, not anytime soon though, couple billion years, where our sun dies and we're going to have to find a new host. So it's best to get to know the universe and space than it is to learn about this planet. I mean, most we can do is learn how to keep this planet healthy, so that way when we essentially move off this planet for another, we can take care of that planet properly and have it. I mean, if we can learn to take care of the planet, then nothing can really make us worry except for, you know, meteor strikes, solar flares, and anything other any other outside force that we completely have no control over, except for meteor strikes and asteroids and stuff like that. Because, you know, but I'm sure by that point in our lives, we'll be able to shoot that shit down. Uh, so, but anyways, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.